going to show you how you can make this lovely Mother's Day gift box with Ferrero Rochers. It's very easy to do, but first of all, I'm going to show you how to do Design Space, how to change solid lines to school lines and how to upload your files. And then I'm going to show you how to assemble this together. So I really do hope you enjoy this. We'll start with Design Space and I'm going to show you how to upload all your SVGs. Let's start with the first one. So you need to browse and then upload. So you've got all these are your SVGs. This one is a print and cut. So we'll start with your acetate. We'll continue and then upload. There's nothing to do on this. We'll just cut as is. You can see the size here. That is the size it should be. Now there is a PDF file that came in with your files that will show you that you've got the correct size. 9 times out of 10 they do come in the right size, but just double check it, that is right. Put that to one side. So each one, just to check the size. Right, let's upload the next one, which is the back panel. On this back panel, these lines here, these are just guidelines, so they don't cut. You can do 2 ways. You can score it or you can pen mark it if you've got a pen. We need to do this drop down menu on the right here, and it's always the top one, which is the lines, and then we'll come to the left and we'll change that. I'm going to use a pen and I will change the color so I can see it when it does that, and then just highlight it all and then attach. So that's all ready, and then we'll upload the next one. I'll do the print and cut at the end. This is the front panel. And this one, you don't have to do anything with it. That's all ready to cut. Put that to one side. Then the inner box. This is where you have to change the school lines. So again, to the right, drop down menu, the top one is always the lines. Click on that, then come to the left where it says operation, drop down menu, and then click score. And you can now see it's all scored, but you have to attach it. If we don't attach this, I'll just show you what happens. I'm not attaching it. So if I go to make, if you don't attach it, this is what happens. You get all those lines. So make sure you always attach. So highlight that all and then click attach. And that one's ready to go. Next one. And then we need the large rose. These are the roses, the larger ones. These are all grouped together. I mean, you can make them group together. If I go to make, you'll see that it will group it all like this for you already. So yeah, it's up to you. You can ungroup them if you want. If you want to fit it on an A4 sheet. Like I say, all these will fit on A4 sheet size. Let's upload the next one, which is the leaves. Again, these ones are grouped together. You can ungroup them. I'll just show you quickly how to ungroup. You come to the right, click on where it says leaves, and these 2 little boxes, they will ungroup them all. So now they're individual. It's entirely up to you if you want to ungroup them, or you can actually cut them as a group. So they're ready. The next one, which is the mid and the small roses. This one I probably will suggest, I mean, you don't have to do red and white, you can do whatever colour you want. But if you want to do 2 different colours, yeah, I will definitely ungroup these ones. So just ungroup them all. They're all ungrouped. But I'm just going to highlight them all and stick them over that one side. And then the next one, which is the outer box. And we'll upload that one. This is the outer box. These lines, they've got to be changed to score. So onto the right, drop down menu, highlight the outer box to with just the lines, and then we need to change that to score. Again, attach all of it together. Click down the bottom here, attach. That's ready also. Now we need to upload our last one, which is the print and cut. This will come in. It will come in larger. It won't come into size. You will have to change the size on this. You need to click the flat graphic one. So highlight that one and then continue and then upload it. It might say it's a really large image. It's because it's a good quality image. Just give it time. It will come through. Slowly coming through. He's coming through now. There it is. Can you see how extra big this is to everything? I'm just going to upload the PDF for this for the simple reason so that you can see the size of it. I don't want to continue. You don't have to upload this. There it is. Right, so this is the PDF file that you'll be getting. And if you come to the basket, this is the size that it should be. So we have to manually put that size in. So we'll highlight on the basket. Highlight the basket only. This is your size up here. So this has got to be 6.85. And then the height, it's 7.87. And then click enter. It should come up all the same. And if it's not, undo the lock and then just retype them in if it isn't the same. So it isn't for me. So 6.85 and then 7.87. Right, we can actually hide that. That's just to show you. That's the PDF file. You'll get all the different sizes. We'll just hide that for a minute. That is now the size. And you can always check. You can just put it over the top of the holes and you can see it's the size. When you go to actually assemble this all together, you need to know where, let me just hide all these flowers a minute. You need to know that you've got the position right. And I think I show you anyway later how, when you assemble it, that, all these little flowers are everywhere. I'm just going to show you how to position the box on top of the box. There is a way. Don't sort of glue it down and it's all wrong. But right, okay, this is the one we need. Right, so this is the inner box. This is where all your Ferrero Rochers go into these. So we need to know. See this circle at the bottom, always at the bottom. To tell that that is the correct one, if you look at the center circle, and it's the one that's directly below this one, that is at the bottom. Because when you put this on, it's got to marry up over the top when you put your box on top. If you put this round, you know, like that way, you could glue it down on your back panel that way, it's not going to marry up at all. So just make sure that that is the bottom one, that one there. So always look in the middle one, middle hole is the one directly down to it. That should always be at the bottom of your box. Okay, so now we can start actually cutting all these because these are all ready. The print cut, sorry, I beg your pardon. We need to actually do this one. I'll show you how to do this. So, because obviously this will just cut, but it won't print. It says print then cut, but it will cut probably all these little individual lines here. So we need to make sort of it's like a backing really. How you do this is you go to the offset, do the drop down menu, and then obviously put it on 0, then click apply. So if you come here to the right, we need to change that to a basic cut. So it's the basic one. So basically behind there is basic cut and this one is your print and cut. And then we need to attach. So highlight these two and at the bottom click attach and then flatten it. Now that will print and it will cut exactly everything that you need. I think that's about it. So if I go to make, every single piece you cut will fit an A4 sheet. So let me change this. It's on an A4 sheet. You can see there's my A4 sheet. That's when you do the print and cut. And then let me show you on this one here. Go to my A4 sheet. You can see where the sheet ends, that line there. That'll all fit nicely. Okay, that's it. So now the next part, I'm going to show you how to put it all together. Now that we've finished with Design Space, we can now start assembling. Everything's all cut out and ready. But first of all, I'm going to start on the roses. As you see, I've already completed some of the roses. So it just gives you a general idea on how they will look when they're finished. But I'm going to show you how I put these together. So there's 5 pieces per rose and there are different sizes also. You've got like 2 different sizes in the white. Then you've got, I think, 2 sizes in the actual red because you've got the bigger ones and then you've got the 2 smaller ones. So we're going to start with these. Now the middle part, which is obviously the stem, this little piece in this middle there, sorry, not stem, the bud in the middle, we're going to fold it so that it actually folds into the center. So I'm just going to quickly show you. What you need to do is you need just to bend each of these petals like this as you go along. Just squeeze these sides like that, and then you can use any tool, any sort of thin tool really. We need to curl each of these corners. I'll just quickly show you up here. Each of this corner here, we need to curl it inwards, so we need to roll it in like that. So we need to do this. This is obviously the centre of the rose, which they all need to be rolled inwards, so I'm just going to do them. Now that they're all curled in, I'll show you, I'll come up closely to the camera for you. You can see that each of the corners of these little petals here are rolled like inwards like that. But then we also got that crease there because we've got to meet this all in the middle to make the centre of the rose. Now to do that, if you see that this one here is on its own and these two here, we need to bring these up and we need to sort of push them in together like that. What I'll do is I'll zoom in my camera for you. Okay, that should be a bit easier for you to see. So basically we leave this one at the bottom, but these two here we need to bring up and they need to sort of like entwine into each other like this. So you've got the bud. I'm using a glue gun. You can use glue, but it will take a little bit longer. So we need to just glue a little dab of hot glue there. And then we need to just squeeze in to that side there. Don't burn yourself, because I just did. Right, okay. And then this other side here as well. Obviously with a glue gun it does dry very quickly. Just take off the excess glue. Tends to go like that. Now then we need to bring these ones up also. So put the glue there, drop there, and a drop there. Oh, can't quite see, there you go. And then squeeze it round to there. And then this one here, a little bit of glue there and there. And then squeeze that round. And then this one as well. So that's where you've got your centre bud of the rose. So it's like that. So just see you underneath, so you can see that's your bud. Okay, so the next one, all these really need to be moulded exactly the same. So I'm just going to just quickly show you. I tend to sort of like squeeze the sides in first, so it moulds around the rose easier when you come to glue them in. So just push them together. And then what we need to do, we need to curl the edge on this side inwards. So do the one side only. So just curl that in. And then that one there. Curl that side in. That there. And then turn it over and do the other side by curling it the opposite way. It gives a lovely definition to the rose. And that's all you need to do. So basically you've got a wave that's going out and then a wave in on the edge of the petals. So you need to do this on all the remaining 4 petals. The 4 are now done. And this is where we can start putting the rose together. So we need to put this in the center. There's no any direction or anything like that. Sorry, that brings up. Put it in the center, so just dab a glue in the middle there. And then just put it down there. Now we need to just glue one side of each of the petals because we're going to have it entwining like a rose does. I don't know if you can see here on this rose that it's actually entwined inside each other like a rose is. So we need to get that, and it's quite easy. Right. Okay, right, let's get some glue on that side. I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue there. And then you just need to bring it up. Just hold the petal together like this. So you just glue in one side. And the next one. Let that glue in. You just keep doing this all the way around. I'm squeezing the petal either side of it so it sort of curves round. Nice excess glue. I should make some kind of invention where it doesn't go like string. I'm sure there's someone that's done something about that online. So the last petal, we need this to go inside there, glued in. So it should end up looking like that. Okay, I'm going to glue this in and I'll show you when I'm done. So glue on there, then you need to poke it inwards to there. Sort of finishes it off. Just give it a squeeze there. And it should end up looking, I'm unraveling these for you so you can see. It should end up looking like that. So you've got the pieces hanging off each side. Normally I would glue these down, but I don't think you need to because with the next layer, that should actually push it down quite nicely. It's just extra work, isn't it? Right, okay. Now, we need to see where you've got this petal overlapping that one. We need that to be centre of a petal. So that line is in the centre of your petal. Okay, let's get this done. So we want that in the centre of that. I'm going to turn it over just to show you. Where you've got the two petals overlapping each other, this is where you want it to be in the centre of a whole petal. So then when it comes up, it will actually look like it's folding around again. Okie-dokie. Now with this next layer, we just need glue right at the bottom here. Right at the bottom. Because we don't want to glue right to the top. We just want it about there. And then we just need to push it up against there. Yeah, mould it around. Give the shape as well while it's gluing. While it's gluing down, you can just pull it back out again. So you just need it right at the base. Put that around. You can see your rose starting to form lovely. Something therapeutic about doing flowers. Okay, and this one. Giving it a mould around as well. Mould it as you do it. So I'm not coming away from the camera here. Just mould it around there, around that edge if you can. Messy old job. And then push that up and then just sort of form it around the edge. I know probably my fingers are in the way that you can't quite see, I'm sorry. But I'm trying my best because it is quite a tiny flower really. last one on here. Let's give it a push while it's gluing in. Here, so you can start to see that the rose is unraveling as we go along. Okay, the next bit we need is this one. What I might do at this point is probably glue these little tags down. So I've got a bit of a smoother edge to work along. So I just push them up against there. Because we've got 2 more layers to go on. So with this, we want this to be a little bit more closed up here. So just finish it off with a bit of glue there. And then just push it down on there. Okay, so it should look like that as your centre part there. So now we need to glue this, but again, I said to you, where the petal creases over, make sure that that is the centre there. So I'll glue it on and I'll show you it again, basically like we did before really. Make sure that the line there of that one is there in the centre. Again, you just need to put glue at the bottom and push them up. Don't have to push too hard because the rose is starting to open up. Oh dear, I'm away from the camera again. Right, you probably think I can't see a thing. She's out of zoom, she's out of focus. What's she doing? Right, then this one. And over there. Oh, this is a lovely gift for your Mother's Day. It's a lovely gift for any day, really. It doesn't have to be Mother's Day. You can treat your mum whenever you want with a gift. Ferrero Rocher's are the best. And then the last petal here. Just clip that on there. Just give it a push at the base only. Don't push the top too much because you don't want the... Mind you can mould the rose buds out. Petals out, sorry, buds. The rose petals out anyway. So you can pull these out a bit. Once you got it all glued in. You can spread the petals out. Just tidy it where all the hot glue has been. The last bit is the easiest bit. It's basically you just plonk it in the middle, glue it, and it's done. You don't have to fold this side up because these are the end petals. Again, you have to position it correctly. And then you're done. That's your rose. So you should have 3 different size roses, and then you should have 2 different size white roses when you're finished. The next thing I'm going to show you is the leaves. So we'll just put those roses to one side, and I've got a sponge. Now I'll show you what I've done already on these. I've already formed them. Well, I'll show you a way of forming these quite easily. What I normally do, if you have got a sponge at home or anything, I was just fortunate I was a cake maker, so I have a lot of these tools, especially my Viner tool. I just normally just put like a little bit of a line down the centre of each of these. When I've done that, I'll just sort of like squeeze the ends of the leaves. Make them look as more natural as possible. Up to you. Don't have to. You can leave them flat if you want. So that's the leaf part there. So, I'll get that out of the way. So now we've got all our leaves here. All moulded I've just done the one just to show you. So you should have the 2 large leaves there. Then you should have the 3 of the ones that are like a jagged edge, more like a rose leaf, I think. And then you've got a smaller one. So the flower parts are done. So the next bit we need is the boxes. Now, we've got the inner box and we've got the outer box. And we need to fold on all the score lines when we did in Design Space. Remember changing them from solid to score. So we need to fold all these in. So I'll show you that in a minute. And then we can form the boxes and glue them together. But I will actually unzoom the camera because we did do the roses and that was quite, needs to be quite zoomed in. So I'll be back in a minute. Right, we're going to start with the inner box first. So we'll need to fold on all the score lines. I've got a really good boner tool here that really does burnish them nicely. So you just need to go around all the score lines like that. Okay, that's about all them done. So we'll start with the inner box. We need to glue. If you can see on this little tab here, we need to put glue on there, and then we need to glue it against this one to about there. I'll bring it up a bit closer to the camera. So that little tab there, we need to glue that and then glue that against there. So it starts forming a box all the way around. So we'll start gluing that one. Okay, now that's all glued. We're going to set this to one side and let this dry. Now we've got the outer box, so we can glue the edges, and it's basically near enough the same as the inner box. These tabs here we need to glue on this one and then fold it up and then glue. So again, like I said, it forms the box. So we'll start gluing them all the way around. Now that's all glued, we can set this to one side and let that dry. We need our front panel. This is the front panel, and this is where we need to glue our acetate in, which comes with the files. So this is the front, knowing that this is the front because you've got the hole there, which is where your gift tag goes in. So we need to put this on the reverse, and we need to glue our acetate in over the top at the back. Don't worry about getting any glue on your acetate. I've found a really good tip here. I use lens wipes. I've probably shown in my other videos that I've done. This is the best way of getting the glue off the acetate without ruining your cardstock, because it is alcohol and not water. It won't ruin your cardstock. So just give that a nice clean. See, well, the glue will seep through. Mine does. So just give that a bit of a clean up. Back there, done. Oh. We can leave this one to one side, and then we'll need the back panel. The back panel is the one, again, this is the right side. This is where the box, the inner box, goes in first. And these were just guidelines, so we know the position. Now, our inner box should be dry now. So these little tabs that you see here, we need to push them outwards. You can see, I'm just going to push this outwards and then I'll just show you what I mean. So it's outwards, so it can stick down on top of the back panel. So we need to pull these all out like this. And then we can glue these tabs down. Now the front panel is where we can start decorating it, and with your roses and all sorts. So we have the basket, which will go over the top of these holes, so we'll glue that one down. Okay, once you glue this down, don't press on the top up here, because we need to put some leaves behind the actual basket itself. The 2 leaves I am talking about are, because obviously you've got these 4 that are, sorry, these 3 are the same. And you've got this one, and then you've got these 2 big ones. Now, that's it. They're the 2 big ones and they're the little ones. So we need to position them, one there and one there. So let me get that sorted for you. Just figure out which leaves it was. It's these 3 decorative ones. We need to be behind the actual basket. I've put them in position. I need to really glue them down now. Position them so that they are in line with the top of the edge of each leaf. And then we can just glue the basket down. Probably should have put the leaves on first, but if you don't, you could do it my way. I forgot that there had to be leaves behind. Anyway, so that's what you have to do. Put the leaves on first, then put your basket on top. So that's all stuck down. I mean, basically it's up to you where you want to position your feet. There is one leaf here, and I do believe it's this little one here that we've got here, and that goes on that corner there. So we'll glue that one in. This one here, just sort of skim across here. And then that one, this one here, you can have it scooping downwards. So a lot of your flowers, when they're positioned, and will cover most of your gaps up anyway. I'm not going to put the roses on yet, because we've got to do a lot of pressing down when we put this on top of the inner and outer box. So we'll leave the roses till last. We can set this to one side. So if you remember, but the best way to find out that you've got the right hole and that it's the right way up on the back panel, it's the single one on its own. And if you line these 2 up together, you can see that it all lines up. So make sure you line this up with your outer box, with your inner box first, before you glue it on your back panel. Otherwise it won't line up properly. So we'll glue the inner box on the back panel, and then I'll glue this down on the box. As you can see, I'm gluing this down. So obviously it's the circle that's all on its own on the straight edge. And make sure you use the guidelines to stick this down. And just let that dry, and then we'll put the Ferrero Rochers in. Now we've made that, let that dry, we can put our Ferrero Rochers in. And you just put them in, give them a bit of a twist so they hold in. But your outer box will hold them down. Like that, and there. Now your outer box, make sure that these flaps are on the outwards, because we're going to be sticking this piece here onto the back panel. So we'll glue this down. Right, now that's all glued down, we can start putting the front panel on. This is the front panel, and we need to line this up over the holes and also where the gift tag is at the back, so we can put our gift tag through. So we need to glue this all down on top. Okay, that's all glued in. Now we can put the best part on. Now is our roses. Now the best place to put your roses in, entirely up to you, but I can see a bit of a gap there, so I think a nice one of the biggish roses will probably go nice there. And then maybe we should have a white one about here. Looks nice. And then probably the biggish one over here. And then we could have probably the white one there and the other red one here. I think that looks quite nice. Fills it all up a bit and it overlaps the basket edge. I think that looks lovely. Well, I'll glue them all in. But I'm going to use a glue gun because it's quicker. And you can just put them whenever you want. There's no specific place at all. I think that looks absolutely lovely. And to finish it off, we need a gift tag. I've got this one I made myself actually on Cricut Design Space, but you can make, there's loads actually of free ones, gift tags, if you're not able to make your own on there. I haven't put it in with the files. I think this is down to the individual. They might want to put personal, they might be want happy mom if you're in USA, MOM, American spelling. I put Happy Mother's Day because I think that just covers both countries spelling. And so it's down to you what you want to put on your gift tag. So I need to get the ribbon and I'm going to put it through the hole there and then we'll put that in. Well, I've just finished it off with a gift tag. I just put some ribbon through the hole and I have put it just through the hole. I have put the other hole there just in case you do fancy putting your whole ribbon right through to the other side. You can do that also. I think that just finishes it off lovely. So I hope you really enjoyed this project and this lovely tutorial. And these are up for sale, the SVGs, on my Etsy page, which I'll put a link down below. I will also put a link down below of what the materials I've used, including the glue and also the cardstock I use for the main parts, which is a 310 GSM. Flowers, they need to be not so thick because you need to mould them, so probably a thinner cardstock would be better on that. And I think that's about it. So if there's any questions or you're not a bit stuck, by all means message me. I'm happy to help at any time. But what a lovely gift for Mother's Day. And thank you very much. Take care. Bye.